CEO's deaf daughter alone on her birthday, until a single dad signed, "Happy Birthday," in sign language. The party decorations still hung from the ceiling, untouched and drooping, like they too were disappointed. Pink balloons floated gently near the corners of the quiet room, their strings swaying with the faint hum of the air conditioner. 8-year-old Lila sat at the long dining table, staring at the untouched cake, chocolate fudge, her favorite. The candles had burned down to waxy stubs long ago. Her small hands folded in her lap, fingers trembling slightly. She couldn't hear the silence, but she could feel it, heavy, cold, and endless. Her mother, Elena Moore, the powerful CEO of Moore Tech Industries, had promised she'd be home by 6. It was now 9:45. The message on the phone was short, just like all the others. Greater than, "Sorry, sweetheart. Emergency meeting. I'll make it up to you. I love you." But how do you tell a deaf child you love her when you're never there to show it? Outside the apartment building, Daniel Carter, a single father in his mid-30s, held his daughter's small hand as they walked back from a modest dinner. Emma, his 9-year-old, chattered animatedly with her hands, quick, graceful movements forming the language only they shared. Born deaf, she had taught him patience, empathy, and the beauty of silence. As they passed the lobby, Emma tugged his sleeve, her brown eyes catching the faint light from the window above. Inside, she saw a little girl sitting alone at a table with a cake, a single candle still flickering. She signed to him. Why is she alone? Daniel followed her gaze and frowned. He could see the faint shimmer of tears on the girl's cheeks. Something about that scene, the loneliness, the waiting, hit him deep. He had seen that same look in Emma's eyes when her mother walked out years ago. Without a word, he nodded to his daughter. Together, they entered the building. Lila looked up in surprise when the door creaked open. A man and a young girl she didn't know stood there. The girl smiled warmly and began signing. "Hi, I'm Emma. What's your name?" Lila blinked. Then her eyes widened. Someone else knew her language. Her fingers moved shyly. "Lila." Daniel stood back, watching as the two girls signed rapidly, laughter replacing the emptiness in the room. Emma's hands fluttered with excitement as she pointed at the cake. No one came. Lila shook her head, biting her lip. Mom had work. Daniel felt something twist inside him. Without a word, he walked over to the table and lit a fresh candle on the cake. Then, slowly, he lifted his hands and began to sign. Musical note. "Happy birthday to you," musical note. Emma joined in, her small fingers dancing beside his. For the first time that night, Lila smiled. A real, full smile that reached her eyes. When the song ended, she blew out the candle, her wish locked deep inside. But she already knew what it was. An hour later, when Elena finally returned home, exhausted and guilt-ridden, she froze in the doorway. Her daughter wasn't alone. Lila was sitting cross-legged on the floor with a man and another little girl, laughing, signing stories, crumbs of cake everywhere. Elena's throat tightened. Daniel stood as soon as he noticed her, offering a polite smile. "I'm sorry, we saw her alone and, well, my daughter thought no one should have to spend their birthday that way." Lila tugged her mother's sleeve and signed quickly. "Mom, this is Emma and her dad. They know sign language. We had cake." Elena's lips trembled as she crouched beside her daughter. "I'm so sorry, baby," she whispered, tears spilling over. Lila smiled softly and signed. "It's okay, Mom, I wasn't alone." Over the next few weeks, something unexpected blossomed. Daniel and Elena crossed paths more often, at coffee shops, parks, school events. Emma and Lila became inseparable, their laughter contagious and their friendship pure. Elena began learning sign language herself. Each evening, she sat beside Lila, practicing simple phrases. "I love you. How was your day? I'm proud of you." And for the first time in years, she saw her daughter's eyes light up, not from expensive gifts or grand promises, but from connection. Months later, during the school's spring performance, Lila stood on stage, hands moving gracefully in perfect rhythm with the music that played for others but not for her. In the front row sat Daniel, Emma, and Elena, watching, signing every word of encouragement. As the crowd erupted in applause, Lila's gaze found her mother's. Elena signed with trembling fingers. "Happy birthday, my love, every day with you is a gift." Lila's smile said everything words never could. And Daniel, quietly holding Emma's hand beside them, knew that sometimes, the smallest gestures could change lives. A song in sign language. A birthday saved. A lonely heart healed. Message. Kindness doesn't need sound to be heard. Sometimes, the most powerful connections are made in silence. Dizzy. Message. Kindness doesn't need sound to be heard. Sometimes, the most powerful connections are made in silence. Dizzy.